Here's how to set up a super reliable SSD storage system on a budget. You drop a hard drive and it's likely dead on impact. SSDs are more shock resistant, but sometimes they just die for no reason. I have millions of photos and videos, and as a full-time creator, I can't afford to lose any of them. The solution is RAID. In a RAID configuration, you make sure that any of your information that's stored on one drive is also stored on at least one other drive. That way, if one drive dies, you always have a backup. Now, trying to manually manage and match data across two separate drives is overly complicated and inefficient. But thankfully, there's several easy ways to automate this process so that your information is automatically duplicated and saved onto two separate drives. The first way is to actually buy a RAID enclosure. RAID enclosures hold multiple hard drives and automatically manage the data across those drives. But this is going to be an extra expense on top of actually buying the hard drives that go inside of the RAID. And a RAID enclosure like this isn't really doing anything that your computer isn't already capable of. So here's an easy and cheaper way to configure a RAID just using two normal external drives and software that's already on your computer. And this is going to work with any two external drives. You can use a hard drive, SSDs, or even two thumb drives for that matter. And this technique is still going to work. But for this setup, I'm going to be using two of these Samsung T7 1TB SSDs. Now, because both of these drives need to now just live together for the rest of their lives, I went ahead and designed and 3D printed this enclosure that keeps them together. I really like how this turned out. I think it looks nice sitting on my desk, and it also has an element of functionality because it ensures there's good airflow around the drives to keep them cool. So if you do happen to have a 3D printer and you want to download the digital file to make one of these for yourself, the link is in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and plug both of these into my computer and then show you how to set these up as a RAID. I'm going to start off here on my Mac, and then I'll also show you how to do it on a Windows computer as well. Once both of the drives are plugged in, you should see both of them appear on the desktop. And the first thing that we need to do here is just format the drives. And just so you're aware, formatting will erase everything on the drive. So right-click, go to Erase Disk, and I'm just going to call this Drive 1 and set the format to APFS and click Erase. Now I'm just going to repeat that on the second drive as well. I'm going to call this one Drive 2, choose the format and erase. Now go to the Launchpad and search for Disk Utility. Open that up, and now with this window selected, come all the way up here to File and select RAID Assist. Now in the RAID Assist window, select Mirrored RAID 1 and click Next. In this window, just make sure both of the external drives are selected. Click Next. Then you can set the name of the drive. I'm just going to call this SSD RAID 2025. For the format, I'm going to choose APFS because that's the same format that I used when formatting the drives. Click Next. Click Create. And that's it. We have successfully created a RAID 1 configuration with both of these drives. So now here on the desktop, the folders I previously called Drive 1 and Drive 2 are gone. And there's just this one folder here now called SSD RAID 2025. And now anything that's copied or deleted in this one folder will be saved or deleted from both of the external drives at the same time automatically. Now to do this on a Windows computer, come down here to the search bar, look for Create and Format Hard Disk Partitions, open that up. Down here at the bottom, you can see both of the hard drives. Go ahead and right-click on the first one, select New Simple Volume, click Next, and Next again, and I'm just going to call this Volume 1. Click Next and Finish. Now, if you go to Files under this PC, you'll see your local disk and disk 1D, which we just created. Now go back to the disk manager and repeat that entire process with the second drive. I'm going to call this one Volume 2, click Next, and Finish. Now, before continuing with the next steps, I would recommend actually unplugging the drives and replugging them back into the computer so that your computer recognizes the new drives now that they have been reformatted. And once you have done that, go to the search bar again, search for Manage Storage Spaces, open that up, click on Create New Pool and Storage Space, and here you can see both of the drives that we just formatted. Make sure both of them are selected and click Create Pool. Now you can name the storage space if you want, but the main thing you need to do in this window is make sure that the resilience type is set to two-way mirror. Then click Create Storage Space, and now if you go to Files under this PC, you'll see there is now just one storage space that we just created, which is the combination of both external drives. And if you want to, you can copy this to the desktop to create a shortcut to that storage space. Now, if you are a professional dealing with hundreds of terabytes, then a RAID enclosure, or better yet, a NAS, is going to be the only practical solution. But for pretty much everybody else out there who's just dealing with a couple of terabytes or less, this is going to be a simpler, cheaper solution that still gives you the peace of mind that your information is being securely stored in redundancy on multiple drives. This is the type of thing that I recommend to literally everybody. Even if you're just storing your family photos that you take on your phone, you should be backing up your phone at least once a year to some sort of external drive, and preferably something that has redundancy. If you are looking to put something together like this, the link for the T7 drives is in the description. You can check out some more of my videos over here, and I'll see you over there.